Guys, so today I thought I'd do a video about detangling brushes. Now, as you can probably tell, I'm one of the best judges out there for this kind of thing. My hair is so tangly, I have to put leave-in conditioner and brush it through my hair before I get into the shower so I can condition it. So detangling brushes have always, or since they've come on the market, have always been very key in my hair care routine, I guess you can call it. So today I've got 3 of the big boys out in the detangling brush market to compare and show you guys. And I'm sure you've heard of most of them, if not 1 or 2 of them, so let's get to it. So the first one, and probably the most known one, is the famous Tangle Teaser. This was the first kid on the block, the cool kid, the guy that got there first, you know, established the market. Now I have the compact version, which comes with like a little lid, I guess you call it, because I didn't like the colours when they first came out. I didn't like the colours of the bigger ones, which I think is fair enough. This is still quite bright, but it wasn't quite as bad as some of the other ones. And I tried this for a while and I thought it was a good idea, but my problem with this is that the bristles, I don't know if you can see, but half of the bristles are only about this tall, about half of the other ones, and this only got through the first kind of superficial layer of my hair. So I'd be brushing it and I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that's all done. I'd go through my fingers and I'd have huge knots underneath. So I had to put a bit of work into really like separating out my hair and kind of doing it in smaller sections. Ended up taking about the same time as a normal brush. Don't get me wrong, this is good. This is a really good idea. It works really well. I think it would be better if you have thinner hair though, or just less hair. Like obviously I have quite a lot of hair anyway. I know this is a saviour for loads of people, and don't get me wrong, it's amazing. It really is. It's a very good idea. But for my kind of hair, it wasn't cutting it. So one day, for the life of me, I can't remember whose blog it was or whose video it was, but someone mentioned this. Now I've tried to get as much hair off of this as I can. My apologies. This is the Michael Mercier professional detangling brush. Now this one looks a bit strange. And yeah, a bit different. It's a lot bigger and it has a handle, which I also thought was a good idea, because this, I felt like a pony. No, I just think it gives me a bit better grip. Now this comes in 3 different types. This is the one for thick hair, which I probably didn't need. I could probably get away with the medium one, but there's fine, medium and thick hair, and they come in different colours. So I think fine is pink, medium is green, and this is blue. Anyway, this has been my favourite for a long time. Now that I'm looking at it, sorry, hair, this also has really short bristles, so I don't know what I was talking about. It probably even has shorter bristles than the Tangle Teaser, so that wasn't a very good point before. But this gets through my hair a lot better. I don't have to sit there sectioning it off and doing really small thin pieces. I can just go bam, bam, bam. This is the only brush I use, done. So this has been a very faithful companion over the last year or 2. If it's been that long, I don't even remember. My only complaint with this is that it's pretty big. It's pretty big, pretty bulky. I don't know how to, like, for travelling and such, which I am lucky enough to do a fair amount of, this can take up quite a lot of space, but it's not the end of the world. So like I said, this has been a firm favourite, the only hairbrush I've used for quite a while. But the other week, I got my hands on this, the new kid on the block. This is the wet brush. I just looked like I was doing peas. Wet brush. Now this looks much more like a conventional brush. This, as you can see, has much longer bristles. Is a bit smaller than this, obviously a bit bigger than this. and just looks a bit more normal, really, should we say. Has these nice little bubbles on the end of the bristles, I guess you call them, so it doesn't hurt your head. You know, you can get those really scratchy brushes. And this is good. I will give that to them. This is more like my Michael Mercier brush, as in it gets through more of my hair. It's very soft. You don't feel like it's pulling at your hair at all. It just seems to glide through it very easily. It feels like you're not damaging your hair at all. Like there's no tension. It's quite amazing, actually. With these, you kind of still get that pull. It's not as bad as a normal brush, but this just seems to glide very easily. So this is a very good contender. I don't know how this is so good at what it does. I've got the whole write-up on my blog. This is going to be part of a blog post, kind of like a big review. So I have more of the details up above or down below, or whatever they're in within this blog post that you're reading, hopefully. But it just looks like a normal brush, whereas these two look a bit more alien, you know, with their short bristles. And this, for me, is still coming in second place, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you for why. Most of you probably won't get that anyway. This is still my number one. That was very unprofessional of my phone. This is still my number one, and for one reason only. It just gets through more of my hair quicker. I feel like I can go through my hair and, like I said, not have any problems afterwards. It feels like it goes through all my hair without any problems. This goes through more of my hair than the Tangle Teaser, so it's a lot better than the Tangle Teaser for my personal type of hair. But I still feel like I brush it through and I can go through with this and find the odd tangle. So it's difficult because I think these two are fairly close. This one, just for my hair personally, is better, but this is very hard to get your hands on these days. Depending on where you live. It's actually in my local supermarket literally around the corner here in Madrid, but I've never seen that in the UK. I have all the details where you can buy each one of these. Obviously the Tangle Teaser you can get in Boots, Superdrug, no problem. Very easy, very good for if you have finer hair. This one, I'll write where, I should have been more prepared for this video. I'll write where you can get this. It's kind of changed since I bought it. I bought it straight off the Michael Mercier website, but they don't do that anymore. But you can still get it within the UK. And the wet brush is easier to get your hands on than the Michael Mercier, but not as easy as to get your hands on as the Tangle Teaser. So it all depends on kind of where you live, how willing you are to go out and get something, I don't know. Basically, I think, let me break it down for you. They're all very good. They're all very good at what they do. If you have finer, kind of shorter maybe hair, Tangle Teaser will work for you. It'll be all you need, problem solved. Just go to Boots, get yourself one of these. For kind of medium hair, I would go for the wet brush. Easy to get your hands on than Michael Mercier one. Very conventional looking, quite a good size. It's very pleasant to use. Like I said, it glides through your hair, but might not get through some of the thicker hair. So if you have thicker hair like me, or even thicker, these are made to even go through kind of Afro-Caribbean hair, I would go for the Michael Mercier. So all down to what kind of type of hair you have. I could quite happily get along with the wet brush though. Tangle Teaser's a bit too much work for my liking, for my particular needs, but yeah, so that's my kind of 2 cents on the detangling brushes out there. Let me know which ones you guys have tried, what works for you for your specific hair type, and if you have any other tangling brushes out there that I've not mentioned, because obviously there must be loads out there that aren't quite as well known, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So let me know in the comments below, and I shall see you next time. Bye!